Good evening. This is Stan Mathews in the Mathews broadcast with my partner and co-host, Lindsay the Voice Tynes. We're coming to you on this Monday, the 14th of August, 2017. We're going to be saying December the 14th real soon, right? This is flying. 2017.
That's my birthday.
That's your December the 14th?
Yeah.
Wow, man. Well, you know there's no accidents. We serve a God of providence, right? So we're here in the Mathews broadcast, the alignment, upliftment, empowerment, enrichment broadcast. Those are the four principles on which this streaming television show was started. We are very happy about how things have shaped up for us, the growth that we've experienced, all of the great people that have come on this past year. Cornelius, did you know that last year we hosted 342 companies and organizations?
Wow.
So that means you took a lot of pictures last year. And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And so as we go into our second year, big things are afoot. We've been contacted by Impact Television. That's watchimpact.com out of Detroit, Michigan. They're a black-owned husband and wife team that own their own television network. It's primarily Christian-focused and ministry-focused. But names like T.D. Jakes, Juanita Bynum, Bishop Morton, and all of the rest are on there. They've offered us to begin on September the 5th, 2017, a half-an-hour segment about this broadcast. So they must appreciate something that we're doing. And we're grateful to God to have the opportunity to show that you can be in ministry. Brother Randolph knows about that because I still have a little book when my mom was suffering. He gave me something to heal her, and I still have it under my visor. This is a good man. We're going to get into his efforts and his expertise. But we know that all things are possible when we call on the name above all names. And whether we call on him from the Islamic perspective, a Judaic perspective, Christian perspective, or Hindu perspective, there is but one God, and he's the master and creator of all, sustainer of all. There are four principles on which this broadcast is based. As I said, alignment, empowerment, upliftment, and enrichment. And we are happy to deal with all four of them. But before we do anything on this broadcast, we begin in a place of gratitude. Gratitude for our friends, gratitude for our sponsors, gratitude for our guests, because the most important words in the world, Cornelius, other than I love you, is I respect you and thank you.
That's right.
And thank you.
That's
and there's
right.
a whole lot of thanks on that side of the table.
That's
because
right.
we got some great men who are doing some great things. And I just want to thank them. Whether they were here tonight or not, their ministry is already powerful.
That's
And
right.
so we just want to add something on.
That's right.
And let them keep going higher. To our friends, Vernon Bradbury, captain of the Newark Bike Police, Allison Skeet, distinguished women of Guyana, Joe Peterson, our educator from Patterson, Vince Jackson, the Attorney General's Office of Philadelphia, Greg Jones, our mortgage wizard down in Willingboro, New Jersey, Sarah Cepeda, she is our empowerment coach out of Cherry Hill, Mr. Dennis King, my cousin and friend and mentor in Pennsylvania, Jackson, Rashaka Andrews in Miami, Florida, Leslie in Honolulu, Hawaii, Charlene St. Clair in Richmond, Virginia, Pinky St. Clair in Hampton, Virginia, Harry and Anna Staley in Charleston, South Carolina, Cool Otis Brown in Woodstock, Georgia, Tyrone Scotty Howard in Hotlanta, Greg Riley in Falls Church, Virginia, Harvetta Fax in Columbia, Maryland. We thank all of you for following, for tweeting, for emailing, for giving suggestions, and most of all, for giving prayers that we continue to go in a direction that's pleasing to the Creator as we try and create economic empowerment about businesses in the urban communities. I believe that we've moved beyond the 60s and 70s generation that says we shall overcome and sang it as they marched. We moved into the 21st century. And so, Lindsay, we're down with DJ Khaled, who says, for our people, all we do is
Win, win.
All right. This show is brought to you by our super sponsors, and we ask that you support them as they support us. Without them, there would not be a broadcast. So if you want the max, get Optimum Tax and Financial Services, 5-star rated online, Better Business Bureau certified. Call my friend Ivan Maxey at Optimum Tax and Financial at 908-352-1040 at 500 Rahway Avenue in Elizabeth. If you're serious about growing your clientele today, accept no substitutes. Join UBA. My friend Super Jerry Moultrie and Keith Broadway can be reached at 908-259-5012, an organization dedicated to circulating dollars in urban communities. Dorson Home Care is a breath of fresh air for caregivers everywhere. Dorson is an awesome home care company run by the one and only Sonia Scott, with offices at 395 Pleasant Valley Way in West Orange, about 5 minutes away from here, and 125 Chestnut Street in Roselle. To call Dorson and get home care for a relative or a friend or someone who just wants awesome home care from great caregivers, call them at 973-672-7691. 973-672-7691. Dream Builders, building generational wealth, one great client at a time. If you want to know how money works and how you can make it work for you, call Dream Builders. My friend Paul Dussard can be reached. 973-220-5026. 973-220-5026. They meet every Thursday night at 300 North Midland Avenue in Saddlebrook. For mobile marketing and advertising, guaranteed to take your sales higher, call Trey and Daniel at Billboards for Hire. They're the company with the 20-foot trucks with the digital screens and the surround sound. You see them at Summer Jam. You saw them at the Garden. You saw them at Giant Stadium. They are everywhere. They helped the guy who was elected in Plainfield, Mr. Brother Matt, Adrian Matt, become mayor of the city of Plainfield, and they're all around the town. So if you want to take your sales and your marketing even higher, call Trey and Daniel at Billboards for Hire at 917-756-0043. For advice and planning in your real estate, that's always great, whether you're an investor, a renter, or you need someone to manage your real estate. Call Violet Smith Gilmore at Smith Gilmore Real Estate at 201-723-4203. They're at 1258 Teaneck Road in Teaneck. And just an awesome lady, and people who know everything about real estate are there. Don't settle for less. Demand the best. Call Les. That's Les Daly of Les Daly CPA. He is our accountant. He's at 1923 Springfield Avenue in Maplewood. Les provides great financial advice and services, everyone from tax preparation, also tax representation. You have to have someone represent your organization or you before the IRS or before the state tax authorities. Call Les at 973-327-2085. 973-327-2085. Those are our sponsors. We ask you to support them because they support us. The four principles. First and foremost, alignment. Know who you are and line up with it. This is something that Brother Dixon, who you'll hear from in a moment, has helped me with at a time of crisis in my own life. You are made in the image and likeness of God. So says Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 to 28. It says that God made man and woman in his likeness and image and gave them authority to rule. Psalm number 82, verse 6 says, ye are gods, and I tell you, you're the children of the Most High God. So line up with your divine identity and then behave in alignment with it, and I think everything will come up smelling roses and victory for you. Remember, you're a kingdom builder, but nothing changes until you use your divine gifts to change something, and begin by changing yourself. The second principle of this broadcast is empowerment. And it says in the book of Timothy, the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 7, it says, for God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. Love, power, and a sound mind. So be empowered. You are somebody, as Jesse Jackson used to say, Cornelius, but more than that, you are a very unique individual come on this earth with very unique gifts that you should use. Third principle of this broadcast is upliftment. And we go to our poet laureate, Maya Angelou here, who said in one of her most famous pieces, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So make somebody feel like the champion on earth that they are. That's our job, to do that for one another. So let's get on about the business of doing it. Finally, enrichment. In the state of New Jersey, the state of New Jersey has a gross domestic product of $437 billion is spent by New Jerseyans every year. In urban communities, we spend $132 billion. Yet our communities don't look the way they should if you got that kind of money to spend. So as Kwame Ture, who was also known as Stokely Carmichael, once said, we are the richest people on earth, but we don't know it. and we don't behave like it. We just kind of spend with everybody and don't hold anybody accountable for doing anything with us. So money can't solve all of our problems, but it can solve our money problem if we organize it and we use it for the right reasons. The challenge of the 21st century, in my opinion, and beyond, is the imperative for black and brown wealth. With our own wealth, we don't have to ask, we don't have to beg, we just can do. And the money's in our hands. I gave you the New Jersey statistic. I always give you the United States statistic to blow your mind even more. The United States has an economy that's worth 19.2 trillion. The urban communities spend 3.2 trillion out of their own pockets every year. No community with 3.2 trillion with a T should be asking somebody to build hospitals and begging for somebody to do anything if that we can't do for ourselves. So those are the four principles on which this broadcast is founded. And I am now going to turn it over to the capable hands of my friend Lindsay, the Voice Times, my co-host, to ask our special guest a few questions so that you can get to know them better and so that you can understand how best to support their business.
Their name?
This is Randolph Dixon of Humble Beginnings and the other organization,
And Project New Way of Life.
Project New Way of Life. This is Brother Tommy.
Tommy Kellum. I'm the outreach manager for Humble Beginnings.
All right, that's the man to make sure you get taken care of. And Akbar McIntyre.
Yes, Akbar McIntyre. I'm the CEO and Executive Director of Humble Beginnings Incorporated.
Start your questions with Ak.
Akbar, Mr. McIntyre.
How you doing, brother?
Good. What is the name of your business or your organization?
Humble Beginnings Incorporated, and it's basically the brainchild of my own personal struggle. It signifies that I came from nothing, and the person that I am today, I'm totally humbled by that experience and the experiences that helped shape me into the person that I am today. And as a result of that, I feel the need to reach back, or should I say, pay forward with an alignment with the people that I'm in my community, that are in my community, begin to provide a safety net for those challenged groups that still exist in my community.
What is the unique value of your business or organization?
Well, the unique value of my organization is that we're very compassionate with our community, those in our community, and we have a unconditional positive regard for the people. We have empathy, and we express empathy to many of those that we come in contact with, and the fact that we know the issues directly and have experienced the issues and know exactly what the people are going through, that we are able to extend ourselves in the manner that we do.
Okay. All right. Now, who will be a good referral for your business, or who can help you to grow your idea?
Well, the general public, contributions from the general public, some of the stakeholders in the community, the local government, some of the people that are in the court system, private owners, private business people. Like right now, we have a linkage with maybe 4 or 5 different private companies for our weekly feeding program and our outreach program. And we provide quality meals to 400 or 500 people every week in the community. And it's all only through private, contributions that we're able to do that.
Okay. And what would you like to offer in return for their support of your business?
Well, we definitely will advertise the partnership and let it be known that there is a link between us and them, and we'll do the best we can to, stay within the guidelines of our relationship and not, do anything outside of it to bring any type of tarnish to anybody's relationship, into anybody's reputation, and also upholding exactly what we say our mission is. Basically doing exactly what we say we're going to do with the contributions, and constantly spilling it out there that these are our representatives.
Okay. And what's the contact information, your website, your address?
Right now our website is under construction as we speak, but we do have a Facebook page that's live and booming.
Give them the name.
And Humble Beginnings Incorporated is on Facebook. There's a donation link. A lot of our documentaries, our recent documentaries are up there. You can also see our recent videos of the work that we're doing in the community, and our actual activity that we do in the kitchen in terms of prepping the food and putting young people to work and assisting us and helping us and get this point across that, you know, you have to take a leadership position into your community and provide a safety net for your own selves in the community. And it just the nature of being involved, actually, you know, coming off the horse and getting involved and rolling our sleeves up and getting involved with our in the work that we do.
Okay. Is there a phone number that they can reach
Sure,
you?
you can. It's a phone number you can reach me at 973-876-3390.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. And the gentleman, Mr. Randolph.
How are you?
Hi. Good. How you doing?
Blessed.
Good. And highly favored, right?
Highly favored, no doubt.
Amen.
No doubt.
What is the name of your business or organization?
Name of the business is Project New Way of Life Incorporated. It's currently in its infant stage. This is a vision given to me by God, I believe, because it gives me the opportunity, you understand, to give back to our community. Coming from where I come from, which is Stella Wright Projects, Prince Street Projects, living in that environment and knowing just how hard it is in most communities such as Patterson and Newark, you understand, with dealing with drug addiction, lack of employment, you know, lack of social programs, you know, it's things that are needed, you understand, because this epidemic that's going on now, you understand, it's been going on for years, you know. It was sung about in the 60s by James Brown, you know, King Heroin. Now, what my vision is that was given to me was to go back and help people, you understand. The initial program is going to address the substance abuse, but I'm taking a whole holistic approach.
How
Because
is that?
that is because you can stop the drug use, but they need job training. They need
So-
mental health issues.
Right.
You understand? They need food. They need housing. They need
Comprehensive.
everything. You understand? You can't just get a tune-up. You got to repair the whole thing. You
Get it
understand?
ready for the road.
You
Right.
got to. That's right.
That's right.
You know.
Let me ask you a question, Brother
Yeah.
Randolph. Very recently, this president has been talking about an opioid crisis. Break that down for me, you and
And the
I,
governor.
because why is it such a big deal to them now?
It's obvious.
It's obvious.
Go ahead, you first, and then you out.
It's obvious because it's no longer people of color that's dying. You know, it's in their neighborhood now. The same way with the crack epidemic. It wasn't a problem until their people started.
It got to the burb.
Right. It got to where they live at and started affecting them. Now they want to do something about it. Long as all these many years it's been in our communities and in urban communities, no one done anything. Now we got all these fundings from the governor, what he's called REACH, his new program REACH, and then you got the president talking about it because they know that their people are dying. I got statistics here right in front of me that says that there are 59% of Caucasians use drugs and alcohol, whereas it's only 35% of African Americans that do drugs.
They
and alcohol.
have the president on a live mic that he didn't know was live, Cornelius, where he said that Maine, the state of Maine, was a cesspool of heroin.
Oh, really? I didn't do that.
And they caught the tape that he said it, but he said he's going to do something to help them out because they're our people.
Wow.
They caught him saying that on the sidebar.
Right.
I'm going to let you jump in. Why do you think this opioid thing is now big news?
Well, what I know, being a product of the war on drugs in the 80s myself, you know, what had happened is that it was a blind eye taken. Studies have always showed that young white Americans were 3 to 4 more times likely to use extensive drugs at a greater alarming rate than African Americans could have ever done. You know, what happened is that the war on drugs directed the enforcement of these crimes into urban communities, communities of color. In the face of the crack epidemic, became the welfare queen, the crackhead, crack babies in black and brown communities. And blind eye was taken on what was potentially happening, what was happening in these suburban communities. And right now, things have hit the fan because there's a need for pain relieving substances because of the impact that some of the traumatic experiences that people go through in their daily lives impact. Everybody's looking for an escape. And so when we wake up in the community, in the hood, we got to come out to a harsh reality, right? That this is what it is, and a lot of learned sense of hopelessness that that's engraved in our psyche, Whereas in suburban communities, people have this thing where they need to escape, and they need to escape, and they need to be escaped longer than most people. So they had access to the pure version of what we received from a synthetic point of view, and this is where we have it at now, and it's and when you keep using dope long enough, you'll drain your bank account, and you'll be forced to.
One of the things and I don't know about Newark as much, Brother Randolph, you can comment on that, but we live in Patterson. So I'm always, blows my mind right out on Route 20, right out on Martin Luther King. I see all these young white kids walking up and down the street strung out.
Yeah.
And, it's on a daily basis. It blows my mind that you now, this dope thing is not a respect of color according. They're right there on Martin Luther King, and they're not from our community. That's
right.
But what I know and what I see and what I know for a fact, and just by working with these people, our needs assessment, survey that we've conducted and our outreach program shows that 40% of the people that frequent our feeding line are white suburbanites who ended up being migrated here and they're in a destitute situation, right? We understand that, right? But what we also understand is also that's so unique about Patterson is that heroin is $3 a bag, and it's literally cheap, and it's accessible, and it's accessible because it's by design that it's accessible. And there's a correlation between the heroin epidemic and the liquor stores and all these other places of ill repute.
And the way I understand it is that Patterson's liquor stores stay open later than other cities.
But there's a correlation between these things, and it need not to do that just to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
We don't want to come up with no conspiracy theories or make it sound like a conspiracy theory. But being on the ground and my team, we know for a fact that there's a correlation between late night liquor stores and the heroin epidemic.
We got some shotgun questions because we got to start our second segment. And I really want to get some of the audience engaged here. You got somebody named Mr. Roman. He wants to thank you, Akbar, for all the feeding that you're doing out there, and he wants you to explain your relationship with the Islamic Center of Passaic.
My relationship with the Passaic County Islamic Center is that, one, the Passaic Islamic Center Passaic County is my place of worship. I'm honestly, openly glad to say that I'm a Muslim. And my relationship with the Islamic Center Passaic County is that these are my partners. These when we were in Stan, in 2015, when we had these partnerships to make the move at 159 Governor Street, that partnership fell through the basement, and it didn't pan out. We didn't accomplish what we intended to. So we garnered some new partners and with some ethical partnerships. And Passaic County Islamic Center Passaic County was one of many 4 or 5 partners that we've been able to, garner, and they provide us with the kitchen, the use of their kitchen, and they also provide a weekly collection for us to buy accessories, and they also provide other resources and backing and helping us, to get stronger in our infrastructure.
Got it. This question is for Brother Randolph. This is coming from a brother from Passaic, Dallas Phillips, who I know well. Brother Randolph, he says, what do you mean by new way of life?
Well, new way of life is about basically teaching people there's another way of living. Because there has to be a revolution. But the revolution has to start in the mind. Because, see, you only do what you know how to do. We have to be able to reach people, you understand, to change their thinking, because when you change the thinking, you change the behavior. You know, some people are caught up in hopelessness, you know, and despair, and they feel that they can never get out. But that's a lie straight out of hell. You can change and you can get out. You just need help, you know, on changing your thought pattern. See, because these ingrained thoughts that we have, you understand, come from our environment, you know, and it gives us a hopeless situation. You know, the drugs, the lack of employment, the poverty, the things of nature that's in your community gives you that despair that nothing's never going to change. But it can change once you change your thinking. The revolution has to start in your mind, because revolution means to bring about a change. So you have to start changing your mind and believing that you can change, you can stop, you can seek help, you can get an education, you can get a marketable skill, but there has to be I can. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to stop thinking hopelessness and thinking like, as you said, we were not given the spirit of fear, but love, power. We have power. See, and the power is the power of choice. See, life is about choices and decisions.
Phones ring, baby.
It's about choices and decisions. That's what your life is about. You know.
I want you to hang with me for the second segment. Ms. Givens, our empowerment coach. I think the two of y'all make a final question. I'm going to give to Brother Tommy in the middle. Approximately how many people do you feed? This one sister, Miss McIntosh, wants to know how many people are you guys feeding?
From weekly, we feed
Coming at me.
approximately 600 people a week. Every
How many?
Sunday, 600.
Okay.
600 individuals every
Congratulations,
Sunday.
fellas.
Give them a whole, healthy, hearty meal. And we pick Sunday for a reason. We pick Sunday because a Sunday meal, you know, I used to be in the house, even when you was young, that, you know, you
That's when the
ate
family got
from
together.
Monday to Saturday, but the Sunday meal
Special.
was a special meal. That's when the whole family came together, right? And we talked about everything that transpired during the week. You understand? And it kind of brought harmony. You understand? Regardless what you did. So we pick Sundays for that reason, because we try to bring back some perspective to the people. You understand? And because I sat by and I witnessed one time that a person came up and got a meal. He took the meal, he went and sat it down on the curb. He was eating, and I heard him utter these words. He said, man, I got to get myself together, man. You see what this meal done and this Sunday and all this stuff? Because there's a certain thing that...
Breaking bread has power.
Oh, man.
Breaking bread has
because
power.
one of our mottos is, right, if we can feed them, we can lead them. You understand?
I like that.
This is one of the things that we implemented trust from the people.
Viewers,
You
listen
understand?
to that. Listen to that, viewers. I want to put a pause right there. Brother Tommy, say that one more time. If you can,
If we can lead them, we can feed them.
that's a
If we
piece
feed
of
them, we
wisdom
can
straight
lead 'em.
from heaven.
You understand?
There you go.
And we do that, right, on a daily basis, because, you know, there's a large percentage of the individuals in Patterson that live below the federal poverty line, approximately 51% of the people. You understand?
That's
And
a big number.
so a lot of people thought that we were just feeding homeless people. You understand? But it wasn't just homeless people that we
You're
was
feeding everybody.
We was feeding needy families and all. You got to understand,
Children.
a lot of people had to build a trust. Everybody's not going to eat at your table.
I gotta get this one out, Brother Tommy. Hang with me. Thank you so much. If we can feed them, we can lead them. The live line is 973-910-3331. 973-910-3331. Keep calling. Don't stop. We're going to try and get as many questions in before we bring Sister Kim on. Aki, you're going to get this last one. This is right on what Brother Tommy's saying. Somebody's asking, then why not give food away to people who are under the poverty line? They may not be drug addicted. Does Humble Beginnings have plans to start now bringing people whole meals on Sunday so they can enjoy a Sunday dinner? They still call
Yes. That's without a doubt. You know,
Y'all killing it.
right now we're in the process of garnering the resources to begin to move this feeding program into the first.
Damn, I keep messing up my life.
The people on the first ward is calling on the
killing it.
service.
Everybody
And,
want to talk to y'all.
And one of the things about what Tommy was saying is that as it relates to Sunday, and with respect to displaced people and with respect to people with these different impacts, right? Feeding them on a Sunday is a method that we use to restore their human dignity. and
Yeah.
we serve with compassion and unbiased perception for what their problems are, because there are a whole lot of people that come to this line with various different stories and various different issues, and it's just that hunger is at the core of it. And like Tommy said, like as he know that he's seen a brother make that comment about him needing to change, we also distract sisters that we know that are up to no good, based on the need to feed their children, off trying to walk off to go do what they do, and knowing the issues and elements of our community. On many occasions, we don't call many sisters back. Oh, sister, come here, get over here. How many kids you got at the house?
Come on.
I got 5 kids. Do you think these kids gonna like these cookies? We got these nice gourmet cookies and stuff, right? They're gonna like. This is what you gonna do. You got 5, brother. Give me 5 trays, 5 waters, 5 fruit cups, and 5 cookies. And I need you to take this food to these kids.
And as I'm asking the question, the caller is asking: is there a point where Humble Beginnings is going to prepare a whole Sunday dinner for a family? A family that just can't afford to go out to dinner together. Is that something you think you're going to do?
We do it now.
We do it now.
We do it now. See, what I'm telling you is that families come to this line with their children.
Tommy said it's just not the drug addicted.
Oh,
Of course, everybody.
Families. They pull up. They pull up in medical vans, brother. They pull up in medical vans. They pull up in taxis. They pull up in their cousins' trucks. Listen, I paid my rent this week and I ain't got no food. I got my sister's 3 kids. I got my 4 kids. I need 9 trays.
All
and
right.
we bagging up 9 trays, 9 fruit cups, 9 cookies.
This is an awesome ministry.
And that's just one aspect of what we're talking about doing.
We're gonna have you back to make sure that we expand on it. This will not be the last time Humble Beginnings is on with us. We're going to say this as we close out this segment. I'm going to bring Brother Randolph in. Martin Luther King once said, a man's character is not made in a time of comfort, but in a time of trying and controversy. What do you do when you're on the front line? Akbar McIntyre on the front line, you coming through as good as gold. Brother Randolph, you want to close out this segment?
Oh, yes. I just would like to add that, Brother Akbar, I'm very sincere about what we do. I'm a member of his board member. He's a member of my board member. He's a board member of mine. We're in partnership together. We both have the same vision and dreams for our community. Okay, we also are professionals. He has his master's in social work. He's taking his CADC's test. We both went to Rutgers together, and we went to.
Y'all look good in robes. Y'all look good in robes.
Master's level social work.
I have a master's in social work. I have a LCADC licensed certified alcohol drug counselor, and I'm also an HIV professional. Okay, what we want to do is reach the community. You know what I'm saying? So we can take this holistic approach. You know what I'm saying, and make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Because by feeding them, as he said, we can lead them. You know what I'm saying? When we can start leading, that means they're open. And we can just get inside and let them know you can. Instead of having that defeated attitude, you understand? We want to empower you, let you know that you can improve your life. You understand? And we're here to help you.
You stay right there. Russ Lagan, come on in with Kim, Ak, and Tommy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for making our board light up. There's a reason why I want you to stay. You and her are in empowerment, and I think the two of you are going to make a nice combination in here. You guys can go out in the green room, continue to watch. We'll be on. This is Stan Mathews. We will be right back. This is Stan Mathews. We had an awesome first segment with Humble Beginnings, their board members and their officers. Randolph Dixon, who's still with us, Akbar McIntyre, the CEO, and Brother Tommy, the Outreach Director. We're joined in the second segment this evening with Sister Kim Givens, the one and only, and she is one of the foremost empowerment coaches, highly recommended by my great friend, the one and only Barbara Clark Ruiz. And Kim is here to tell us how we can have a yes you can type of life.
Yes.
And the person sitting next to her is here to reinforce it from a male perspective, because that's what he was just about to go into. So I'm going to turn it over to Russ the Real Deal Lagan to ask a few questions to Kim. And if you're out there and you'd like to call Kim during the interview, call us on the live line at 973-910-3331, 973-910-3331. If you have a question, comment, or testimonial. Lindsay Tynes, they're going to be calling. Answer either one of those phones. Text me the information and the question. We'll get it to Kim, okay? Thank you so much. Go ahead, Russ.
Hello, Kim.
Hi, Russ.
Welcome to the Mathews
Thank
broadcast.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
I had a little opportunity to spend some time with Kim in the waiting area and learn a little bit about her and what she's doing. She's got a lot of powerful stuff, man.
She rubbed her mojo on you?
Wow, man, I'm telling you, she's got a lot of powerful stuff going on,
Watch out now.
And I think both our listeners and our viewers are going to be really impressed.
That's
So, without further ado, would you introduce yourself and tell us, who you are and the name of your business?
Okay, so the name of the business that I'm promoting today is Pilot Light Coaching. I own a hair salon, Sultry Scissors, and I've had that for about 15 years. And so I've been coaching about 15 years. While working in the salon, you're working with women, and it's their private session to talk to you about whatever issues that are happening in their life. There was a woman that sticks like so forefront of my mind. She came into the salon and she was pregnant, and she told me that her husband said that you trapped me. I said, let me lock this salon door because I don't want anybody to interrupt what I'm about to say to you. And I told her, I said, listen, I need you to understand that you are God's gift to him, God's gift to this earth, and what you are holding right now is precious. And so it takes two to tango. And so, no, I gave her instructions to handle that.
Did she leave there with body armor?
I gave her instructions how to handle that. We won't go into that, but let me just tell you, this woman is powerful. She's in DC now. She is self-employed. She has she's been a lawyer. She was a lawyer then working for a firm, but now she's self-employed. She's raising her 3 sons, and she is awesome. She is awesome. And every now and then she reaches out to me on Facebook and just says, Kim, thank you. Thank you for that powerful speech. And back then, that's when I knew it was time for a change in my career. So,
Kim, tell our audience what is your business's unique value, and it sounds like you've just already introduced some of it.
Transforming lives.
Yep, transformation. Whether it be in the business, whether it be self, it's transformation. Understanding your value, understanding your business value, understanding that you are enough, and understanding that there is enough. And having that mindset of abundance. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's possible. I never say I need help. I always say I'm requesting support because I already know it's there. Yeah.
Anything is possible if only you believe.
That's right. Right. So having that set mind of abundance, understanding that it's there already, not telling yourself the story, and creating that end result already. Just ask.
Okay. Who is a great referral source for your business?
I would say, my clients within the salon business, what happens in the salon is just so awesome. I've encouraged so many women to, pursue businesses and pursue relationships. We have relationship conversations. There's a young lady there now. I had to coach on a relationship. You going into a relationship, you've been single for so long, and now you're still behaving the same way as a single person, and you can't do that.
Okay.
You have to have conversations. You have to communicate. You have to be vulnerable. And vulnerable is very powerful.
That's
risky.
risky.
People think, it's risky if you are in that perception of thinking. But vulnerability is very powerful.
What do you think about men and being vulnerable?
Men, if men could be vulnerable, they could be even more powerful. Men understanding what vulnerability can do for them could create a space of abundance, joy, and connection in their life.
All right. That sounds wonderful. What will you offer our audience for your support?
I
What will you offer our audience for their support?
I would offer them a free
Consultation.
yes, a 30-minute consultation, and so that we can get to their now and understanding how my sessions could empower them.
Absolutely
I
wonderful.
can tell.
How can our audience reach out to your business or your social media contact?
So there's Sultry Kimmy, Soul, Soul, Sultry Kimmy on Facebook, or Pilot Light Coaching on Facebook.
For 15 years, you've been doing this.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
In 1984, Minister Louis Farrakhan came to Madison Square Garden, and that was the time at which the Nation of Islam was selling health and body products called Power.
Mm-hmm.
And we stood in long lines that night to get to hear Minister Farrakhan. And I heard him say something that I will never forget. He said, a nation, a state, a city, and a town can rise no higher than its women. So if your city, your town, your state, your nation have low women, you'll have a low nation.
Yeah.
If they got medium women, you're going to have medium nation. If you
Yeah.
got high women, you're going to have a bad group of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, as he said, as we uplift our women, we uplift our entire community. Maybe I started something, Courtney. Is they calling for Kim?
But the vulnerability piece in that, it like I said, is very powerful. And if men would receive the vulnerability, they could hold their women up high.
That's exactly where I want to bring this gentleman in. I have a couple of questions coming in. One from Bonnie Carter, and the other one coming in from Tanya Curry McMichael. Oh yeah. So I was going to ask you first. Yes, you can attitude, Brother Randolph. And secondly, you heard Kim say men could open up more space to abundance and power by being vulnerable. The second thing I want you to do is unpackage that. When you hear somebody, you're in empowerment coaching, you're in MSW, you're in drug and alcohol counseling, you empower people all the time. This I know, you empowered me. So I want you to unpackage that piece. What do you hear when you hear the word vulnerable? Is that a frightening word to you?
Well, it's all about your perspective of what vulnerable is. Vulnerable doesn't make you weak. You understand? Vulnerable, you understand, it's something about humbling yourself. Because humbleness only means power under control. You have the power to act and do what you see others do, but if you choose not to, your humbleness is under control. Now, her and I are on the same page because words have power, and words are life-changing. See, one word can change your life.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
have had clients come back to me over the
Russ, you
years and
sitting
say,
up better. You sitting up different. You sitting up different, Brother Randolph dropped it.
I know what you said to me.
Straighten out my tie.
Stay with me.
Uh-huh.
Some of my tell that when I work in the detox and rehab unit at this hospital on the weekend, some of those, and they say, I talk to them. I say, listen, you complaining about what's killing you. See, stop feeding the beast.
Yes.
See, it's only alive because you feed it every day. Now, when you stop feeding it, you understand, it'll stop controlling you.
There you go.
You're only feeding something, keeping something alive that's trying to kill you. So I talk to them to encourage them that, listen, man, you can do anything you want to do. You do a whole lot of negative stuff because you want to do it. When you need that fix, you find a way to get it. Now, when you want your life to change, you got to do some things too.
Wow.
First of all, change your thinking. Encourage them to understand that, that you can do all things through God who strengthens you. That, you are the head, not the tails. You understand? You are blessed because you woke up this morning.
That's
You
right.
have another day to get it right. You understand? Take these time, you understand? And don't serve the time, let the time serve you. I tell brothers in prison, don't just go there and play cards and play basketball and check. Go there and empower yourself with knowledge and information, you understand, to help you change your thinking. Because that's what it's all about, what you think, And then I try to instill hope, you know what I'm saying? Because most of our people are hopeless, I try to encourage them and empower them to let them know that you can do what you really want to do, if you really want to do it. Your life is about your choices and your decisions. That's what life is about. You make the right choices, the right things, 9 times out of 10, what happens to you? You keep making bad decisions, then why you complaining? You made that choice. No one twisted your arm.
Choice is so powerful.
You know,
That's right.
Choice
your
is
words
so
are very
powerful.
powerful.
Come on back in, Kim. Russ, I heard somewhere one day that the word freedom broken down into its Greek parts. Free comes from phreos, dome from the word dome. Phreos means liberated, dome means mind. So freedom at its root means a liberated mind. So I'm gonna bring you back. You were saying that
Choice is very powerful. And when people are going through something, I always say choose. Choose. You know, you sit here, you tell me about some guy is calling you and you feeling all good, or some girl is calling you and you're feeling all good, but you want it to stop. Then choose. Choose to say, hey, I'm not picking up this phone anymore. I'm not gonna text this person anymore. I'm gonna block them. Choose. You know, what are you willing to let go to have?
Now, Kim, if the phone rings at 2:37 a.m. in the morning, is
Can I
that
just
call
tell you
usually a
something?
good thing?
Can I tell you something? My phone doesn't ring from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. because you know why? I chose to have my life.
Okay.
No one can interrupt me between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. A woman said to me, how do you do that? I chose. I chose to have my moment to myself and with my family. I will not pick up my phone between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m.
That control mechanism that we call a smartphone. You don't.
Yes.
All right, I got two for you. Terry Curry McMichael called to support you. She said you've done life coaching session with her and for her. You've helped her focus on her career, her finance, and your friends, and she is most proud to call you friend. Tanya says that your approach helps her to get clarity on what she wants.
Perspective.
Bonnie Carter called and said she also supports you, and her testimonial is that you are a personal professional of the highest level, and you keep her hair looking good. I thought you gave up the hair salon.
No.
So
I
you do
still
the
have the hair.
empowerment cut. You kept the hair
Yes,
salon.
I keep coaching her.
She says Kim has great authenticity and natural inclination to keep calm under fire.
Yes.
Kim has the ability to see the bright side, is passionate and caring about what she does. And I just want to tell her I love her, and I want her to give her two secrets for the most powerful things that you could do at the beginning of your day. She said you've shared two things that she can do every day to really empower herself at the start of the day. You want to share those with everybody?
Yes.
First things first.
Right.
Wake up grateful. Wake up grateful. Be grateful. I can't emphasize that enough. Even in your worst moments, be grateful. Even in that moment. In the morning, be grateful. Number 2, drink nice lemon water.
That's the second empowerment thing. Lemon water.
Drink your lemon water. But yes, be grateful. Yes. And
you have another call coming in, Kim, and there's one coming on. I'm waiting just to see the rest of it for Brother Randolph. And the person that's calling in, Tammy, wants you to expound on the importance of forgiveness. Now, we got 2 minutes to go until the Faithful Credit Show with my friend, Pastor Angelo McCutcheon, who will repair your credit, empower you, and give you a chance back to that mortgage, that car, and all the things that you want about treating and respecting credit the way you should. So I want to make sure that we get done. 20 seconds, Kim, the importance of forgiveness.
Forgiveness is to help you.
Forgiveness is not for the other person.
No. Forgiveness is to help you have the life you desire. That's my book, KIM, Keep It Moving.
Keep it moving. Brother Randolph, the importance of forgiveness.
Well, it's important, as she said, I piggyback off of that, because when you forgive someone, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. You're severing that tie that's holding you hostage to your past. If someone hurt you, or disappointed you, or did you wrong, and you don't want to, and the word says, in order to be forgiven, you got to forgive. You know, you ask for forgiveness, but you don't want to forgive someone else. You free yourself from this person once you learn to forgive them.
That's
right. You let it go.
That's right.
Absolutely. I thank both of you. So, Russ, your perspective on forgiveness, and I'll close us out, and we bring on the Faithful Credit Associates with Pastor McCutcheon.
I think they both touched on it. I mean, it's not much I can add to it, but I can say when you forgive someone, you give up your right to be angry. Even if you know for a fact that they've done something wrong with you, you give up that right because you want to be free.
You're free.
You want to be free. You give up that right. And that's more important than holding on to it so you can hold that person hostage, but you're really the one that's hostage.
That's right.
Exactly.
Wow, wow, wow.
You know, hostage
No,
to
I'll
our
I'll take that. Listen, we had an awesome session this evening.
This was
We're
great.
we're gonna go out with the one and only James Brown, who said, "Welcome to America, the land of snakes, where every hand that you shake is planning your wake. but God, Brother Randolph, is protecting every move you make."
That's right.
Every move you make. So Brother James said, "Welcome to America, the land of snakes, where every hand you shake is planning your wake. But God is protecting every move you make." There are two types of people in the world, Mathews broadcast audience. Dreamers like you and you and you and all of you and the two of you especially, and dream killers. Run from the first, embrace the second. This is Stan Mathews, Russ the Real Deal, Lagan, my image doctor, Cornelius Hill, Kim the one and only Givens, and Brother Randolph Dixon of New Way of Life, and his friend Akbar McIntyre of Humble Beginnings. Good night, and God bless.